How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everyone listening in? We are glad to come to you again. Emmanuel Rahimbisigwe is my name. I lead a fellowship called Orchard of Marriage and the Orchard of Marriage. And the Lord has called me to this place to share with you online that even the people that we cannot reach with our feet, we can reach them on this media, with this podcast, with this episode. And this is yet another episode that we are bringing to you. Uh, I'm married to Sharon Chivatenga Ahimbisibwe with three children, two girls and one boy. I am glad today we are sharing about a message of spouses need to understand each other. Understanding in marriage is one of the pillars of marriage. A good marriage needs to be understanding. If you are to have a happy marriage, you have to have a peaceful marriage, a joyful marriage, a strong marriage, a successful marriage, all those words that you can choose, then you need to be understanding couple, you need to be understanding spouses. And that is what we have come to share with us today. I think we struggle, especially in the first years, on understanding each other. You are struggling after 10 years. There are lots of things that you've still not understood about your spouse. After years, there are some things you have not understood. Even at 20 years of marriage, 30 years of marriage, you still get shocked with your spouse. You still get shocked of how they are behaving, the decisions they have taken, the actions they have taken. And you are like, but what is marriage? You keep getting lost. Maybe sometimes you tend to feel maybe my spouse is not good. Maybe my spouse is doing wrong things intentionally. They are hurting me intentionally. So we want to try to bring the right perspective of understanding spouse. An understanding spouse, an understanding couple want to build it together. And I want to challenge us. Partly, it means that we need to have space for each other. You need to create space for each other. You don't have to keep, some people use the word, you don't have to be in prison because you're married. To understand each other does not mean you have to understand every detail. For that matter, like my wife is in some ladies' ministries, she serves there in some ladies' fellowships. But I mean, you can't go deep. I can't go deep to understand whatever happens in their ladies' fellowships. I cannot. They have ladies groups, see, saving groups. See, you can't go down deep in the details. But would you give space to each other? Even as you bring finances together, even as you build intimacy together, would you allow each other some space to pray in? Some people have joint accounts, but even when you have joint accounts in banking your money or managing your family finances, still you need some space. Not to ask accountability for every single coin, not to ask for accountability for every single penny that is coming to your friend, that is coming to us as a family. So understanding each other means that you need to create space for each other. You need to allow each other some privacy, some space, and it becomes great there. In our generation, we have issues with the social media. We have issues with the phone. Your spouse receives a phone call and you want to know what were you talking. People are checking each other's phone. People want to know which people do you chat with that phone. Why did you delete this in your phone? Friends, we need, even in understanding each other, we need to allow each other some space. We need to allow each other some space. Why have you come late at this time? Why have you cooked food this late? Why must you go to work on a Saturday? Why must you do this and this? Why are you talking to so and so? Why can't you cut them off? Or why are you? I mean, allow each other some space. I know some people may not understand it, but the truth of the matter is, it is okay you're supposed to do some project where you are not involved. It is okay for your spouse to be in some investment club where you are not involved. It is okay to have that privacy as long as it is all for the good of the family. Allow each other space, but as long as it is for the good of the family, then allowing each other space is very okay. But also, what does it mean to be an understanding couple? Understanding spouses is that you need to have a listening ear. Have a listening ear. That's what it means to be an understanding spouse. Have a listening ear. Pay attention. Well, these days you talk to people, they are on phone, you want some privacy with your spouse, you want to speak some heart issues, but they're busy on social media, they're busy doing their own things, busy on their computers, busy on their gadgets. See, they're not giving you attention. And no wonder because of that, when you ask them, tomorrow, what did we talk about last time? they cannot easily recall. They cannot easily recall. So, dear friends, that is what it means. You need to have a listening ear to your spouse. You need to be listening to each other. Know the emotional feelings of your spouse. Know the emotional challenges of your spouse. These days, we come from work and we meet at home, and maybe there's something you want to power in your closest friend, in your soulmate. There's something that is burdening you. Sometimes you are threatened by a loss of job. You're threatened by a demotion at work. You're threatened by a closure of your business. It's going down. And you want someone you can power through. So when we reach home, when we meet wherever, when we meet together, dear friends, would you give your spouse a listening ear? Would you give your spouse a listening ear? Would you pay attention? Would you understand their emotions? Yes, you can try, you can follow up, dear friends. And when we are talking of understanding each other, you may not feel each other, you may not feel everything. I mean, you may not feel it. How do we define love in marriage? This love in marriage is that you may not feel it, you may not see it, but you love your spouse. So even when we are talking of understanding, we also go that area. And we say that you may not feel what your spouse, the decision they are going to take. You may not feel the journey they are going to start. Maybe they're going to start some business and you really don't understand. You really feel they cannot make it. Maybe they're telling you they want to leave their job and you try to listen and you feel you cannot appreciate it. You feel you cannot click. But dear friends, as long as you trust your friend, not trust is the other thing where we start from. The whole thing to understand each other starts from trust. How do you trust each other, dear friends? So we want to get serious on this. That yes, you may not feel it, you may not sense it now, but give it some time. Respect your spouse. With the time you will click, with the time you will be flowing together, with the time you'll be connecting together with each other. So give each other space, have a listening ear, and then we are saying that even when you may not feel it, even when you may not see it now, give it some time. Give it some time, let it mature. Most likely, some of the things, because this is a woman on a man, this is a man on a woman, some of these things you understand them with time. Now you may not, but with the time, I can assure you, you will understand them. And you can testify, those of you who have been married for some years, you can understand that certain things at the start you may not appreciate them, but when they mature, you appreciate them. Let me tell you something that is very small, yet it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes my spouse, my wife, buys some clothes for herself, and she comes and shows them to me. And I look at this blouse, I look at this attire, I look at this outfit. I'm like, is it true? We need to make it. Until when she will put it on, and then the whole herself comes up. You see, a very beautiful, very smart woman. And you're like, wow, this is it. But before they put them on, they put them on, you are like, even the color, even the shape, even the what, it doesn't look. But give it time. When they put it on, you are like, oh my God. Now, so that understanding also needed something like that. At the start, you may not get it well. At the start, you may not click and connect with your friend. Your feelings may not be there, but give it some time. Give it some time, and I can assure you it will make some sense. And this is it, dear friends, that you need to build trust with each other. I want to repeat it again, that to be an understanding couple means you have built and trust with each other, and it grows. This trust we are talking about, it grows. There are lots of things that can help you to build this trust, but it grows. With time, it grows. And it needs commitment. For this trust to grow, for this understanding to grow, you need to work on it. You need commitment. Commitment is yet another key pillar of marriage, key pillar of a successful marriage. So you need to be trust each other, have some level to trust each other. Today we have some couples and they are challenged. The divorce rate is growing. People don't trust each other. That's why people are fighting for a phone. That's why people are fighting for gadgets. They're fighting to check in their email. They try to check what do they talk when they are there. Some people have reached an extent of, they can even monitor your phone even when you are away. There's a certain friend of mine, that I was trying to help in their marriage issues. I was trying to help, and she said, don't use the phone, don't use WhatsApp. My spouse monitors my WhatsApp wherever they are. I was like, wow, good Lord. What is all this? How did we reach here? How did we reach here? That your spouse has to tell the friends that don't use a WhatsApp, don't talk to me on phone. My spouse, wherever they are watching, they are monitoring every phone call I make, they follow it up. I mean, dear friends, let's not reach there. Allow each other some space, build some level of trust, and even when you may not feel it, have a listening ear, and let us go. Dear friends, I want to add on something else. To be an understanding spouse means that you need to have respect for each other. Yes, you need to have love and respect for each other. You remember Ephesians chapter 5 from verse 21, chapter 5 from verse 21 up to like verse 28. It emphasizes about this respect for each other. It says, wives, submit to your husbands. The other version talks of respect your husbands. So, dear friends, if we must build strong marriages, if you are asking, but what caused the problems to my marriage? How did I reach here? Your marriage is going down. And I'm saying, check yourself. Did you lose trust at some point? Did you lose respect for each other at some point? Respect your spouse. The people they are talking to, that's what we are trying to mean. The business they are doing, that's what we are meaning. The job they are doing, that's what we are meaning. Respect them that they can interact with an opposite sex and nothing is happening. Respect they can go for a fellowship with the opposite sex and nothing is happening. Respect she can serve at church, she can serve at church with opposite sex and they even become close, but nothing is happening. That is what we are talking about respect. Respect their decision. Respect their feelings. Yes, respect their feelings. Of course, a woman and a man, their feelings are very different, their emotions are very different. But we need to have a level of respect to know I married a mature man, I married a mature woman, and I can respect them that their decisions, their choices, they are for the good of our family. Sometimes we get challenges in our parenting, we get challenges in this and the other area. But friends, respect your spouse that maybe their decision is for the good of the family. Give it some time. That is what I'm trying to bring close to you. And then I've told you about commitment being a pillar of marriage, commitment, pillar, respect, listening ear, giving each other space. All these to be an understanding couple, you need them. You need them so greatly. You need them, dear friends. The moment they get shaken, the moment they get a crack, oh, dear friends, you can have issues. The moment your spouse says, I'm going to church, and you're like, is she serious? She's going to church? Or she's going to a friend and deceiving me is going to church? I'm going to a fellowship. Is it true he's going for a fellowship or is just finding a way to meet the other friend of an opposite sex? Or they're just trying to meet the ex? You know, the word ex has also become ex. As if every married person had some ex or has some ex. Not all of us have some ex actually. But I can understand that each one of us can fall, each one of us can have issues, each one of us can stumble. Then, dear friends, we need to be patient with each other. That's another pillar that we want to mention. We need to be patient with each other if we must be an understanding couple, an understanding spouse. You need to be patient with each other. Some things we have weaknesses that you will not change today. Some weaknesses are there to stay as a matter of fact. Some challenges will be there for them as a matter of fact. Some flaws, we all have flaws. But be patient with each other. One of you may not understand at the same level the other one is understanding. You try to define a business concept, you try to bring a business concept on the table at home so that you can do it as a family, but your spouse takes very longer to pick it up. Be patient with each other. Be patient with each other, dear friends. A lot of things will happen. Be patient with each other. My wife, some time back, I wanted to rear chicken. And I think I was not picking it. And I had to take it slow. And when she brought them in, you know, be patient with each other. Some things will not happen instantly. But being patient with each other, it can help you to have this wonderful marriage, to have great marriage, to enjoy your marriage and be successful in what you are doing. Being patient. Some people, even when we are talking of, even in the class, you remember our background. Even our classes, we are not at the same level. In our education progress, we are not at the same level. That's what happens in marriage. We will not be at the same level. Someone will be at a higher speed, another one will be low at a low speed. So, dear friends, that is how it happens. That is how it happens. Just pick it from those basic principles of life. As a matter of fact, I have come to understand. I am a certified public accountant, but I've come to understand Even the hardest levels in our academic progress, even the hardest levels of our exposures, the basic principles of life, they matter so much. Like the same way you are not at the same level in class, you cannot be at the same level in a class of mathematics, in a class of English, in a class of whatever language, in a class of whatever subject I don't know. If the same way you cannot be at the same level is the same way in a marriage you not pick up with each other at the same level. Therefore, be patient with each other. We are work in progress. I want to challenge you, dear listeners. We are work in progress. We are work in progress. That's the message that we need to take to pick from here, from this place. We are work in progress. There are lots of things that have not yet changed about us. We have a background that has affected us for maybe 25 years. Maybe you met this spouse to marry at 25 years, at 30 years, at 35, whatever age you met. A lot of things had happened. So when we meet for marriage, they cannot change in a day. They cannot change in a day. And some of us, we met even when we had lost it in business, we had lost it in academics, we had lost some marriage, and we are now in the second marriage, in the third marriage. A lot of things have happened. Would you be patient with each other? Would you be patient with each other? We grew up, some of us, in a background where your parents was telling you will never mount up to anything. Your friends, your relatives, your teachers were telling you will never mount up to anything. They will tell you will never make it. But we want to thank God so much that we have reached this far. I want to thank God so much. And I want to challenge us that we be patient with each other because we are affected by our backgrounds. We are affected by where we are coming from. We are affected by our environments. We have insecurities. We have insecurities that we hold on, that we are tight. Recently, I was listening to a preach of the gospel worldwide. You know Joyce Meyer. Most of you have listened to her. So I was listening to her and her husband. They were on some online. They were sharing about their marriage. And so when she lost her first marriage and came in for the second marriage, she was so protective. She was so aggressive. She was saying, "I can't lose this one again." And in being aggressive for a good cause, you end up hurting your spouse. You end up becoming too complicated for your spouse. You end up actually becoming a problem to your spouse. Some people who are fighting over the phone, who are fighting over social media, actually they are trying to protect their spouse. They are like, I can't lose her anymore, so I can't lose her. I can't let him go. If he goes there, we'll be lost. They will take him away. They will take her away, dear friends. I want to challenge us. Let us be patient with each other. Let's be patient with each other. Next, I want to challenge us, dear friends. Let us have faith in God. This message we are sharing, it is because God has called us. God has called me to share with you this message. Have faith in God. You may not make it so well if you don't have faith in God. Our faith is in God and only in Christ alone. Yes, let's have our faith in God. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 tells us, faith is a substance of things that are not yet seen. Is a substance of things that are not yet seen. And our faith is in Christ who died and rose from the grave and ascended into heaven. That is where our faith is. So your spouse, you will not protect them, you will not fight over them, you will not do all these things you want. But I want to challenge us, dear friends. Let us have faith. Let us have faith. When you have faith in God, He will protect your spouse, He will protect your family, He will manage you, He will guide you, He will lead you in the right ways, He will bless you here and there, bless you here and bless you there. So let us have our faith in God. Let us have our faith in God. But this marriage, to be an understanding couple, dear friends, you need to know that it takes sacrifice. It takes sacrifice. I mentioned it takes commitment. It takes sacrifice also. You need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice to understand the love language of your spouse, for example. You need to sacrifice, for example, your ego. You have to lay down your ego and step on it. Then we can be complicated. Then we can be complicated, you know that. We can be complicated. We have our egos. That's why we love respect so much. And it's not bad. But you need to keep it at some level. When you keep it so high, you'll be a problem to your wife. Ladies, they like to nag. Ladies, they are known to be good on nagging. But dear friends, you need to have some sacrifice. Actually, to make sure the flesh dies in you. The flesh dies in you. All these emotional things, they need to die, some of them. that are influencing you to be a bad wife, to be a bad husband. Let us sacrifice ourselves. Let us have self down and we serve the other. Have self down and then we can serve our spouse. That is the message, dear friends, I can bring to you. That to be an understanding wife, to be an understanding husband, you need to sacrifice to understand. You need to sacrifice the self. The self can be dangerous. The Bible talks about the flesh and the spirit. The flesh and the spirit, they are on a fight. The flesh wants to take control of you. The spirit wants to take control of you. I was reading the scripture, and 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 23, and tells us how the person is made of the spirit, body, and soul and mind. So, dear friends, we need to understand that we need to sacrifice for each other, because we are coming from different areas, different backgrounds, and different professions. We are there. Aloy is married to an engineer, a doctor is married to a social worker, an educationist is married to a nurse. Things are just there like that. We come from families of polygamy. We come from families that were broken down, and all that requires us to be an understanding spouse. An understanding spouse, that's when you'll enjoy this marriage. Thank you so much, dear friends. So I want to challenge us again to emphasize Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21. What does it say? Submit to each other in reverence to the Lord. Husbands and wives, submit to each other in reverence to the Lord. Dear friends, let us submit to each other. To be understanding, you can only do that when you are submitted to God. And they say a submitted man is easier for the wife to submit to him. A man submitted to God, it becomes easier for the wife to submit to him. But also, the wife who seeks the Lord finds it easier to submit to the wife, because they are all about God. So I want to challenge us, dear friends. You remember 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1? Paul says, follow me as I follow Christ. So in this marriage, if you are to understand each other, if you are to serve each other, shall you follow Christ? Shall you follow your spouse as you follow Christ? Your spouse will find it easier to follow you when you are following Christ. So, dear friends, I want to challenge us that Paul says, follow me as I follow Christ. And what does it mean to follow your spouse as he follows Christ? Even when your husband follows Christ, it does not mean they don't have wrinkles, they don't have flaws, they don't have weaknesses. Even when I follow Christ, I still have those weaknesses. I still have those challenges that you need to bear with, for which you need to be patient with. Dear friends, I want to challenge us. In our marriages, we need to be patient with each other. Even when we serve Christ, we still have the flesh, and the flesh can be a problem. I'm born again. I've been born again for more than 15 years, actually, for more than 30 years to be specific. I've been saved, I've been in Christ for more than 30 years. I've been preaching this gospel for over 30 years. But let me tell you, I have had challenges with my wife also. She has had challenges with me. We have had challenges in our marriages. We have had times of not talking to each other, like it is always said. We have had those moments of not talking to each other. We have had those moments where we crash in parenting. We have had those moments where we struggle to connect with each other. So, dear friends, I want to challenge us. Even when your spouse follows Christ so well, challenges will be there. Weaknesses will be there. They will manifest, and at the wrong point. They will manifest at the wrong point. You are coming, maybe you are dressing up to go for the party, and there is some outfit you want your spouse to put on. They put on the opposite. And you're like, for heaven's sake, why are you putting on a green on this day? We fight over those small things. Why do you put on green on this day? And it's the color she had chosen from her wardrobe or from his wardrobe. On this day, how do you put on a jean? How, for heaven's sake? These are things that break our marriages. How do you put on a jean? Your Colgate issue. You have heard the Colgate story. So, dear friends, Amos 3:3 also challenges us. Do the two work together when they do not agree? The two cannot work together when they don't agree. That's the message of Amos 3:3. And God had told the Israelites how they have become a headache to him. I told them they have not done what he expected them to do. And he's telling them the two cannot work together if they cannot agree. So, dear friends, be an understanding spouse. And I want to challenge us, understanding in what? Understanding in our finances, dear friends. Because in marriage, we cannot talk about marriage without talking about our finances. We cannot talk about marriage without including our money, our funds, our businesses. So even in our monies, I've told you at the start that even when you have a joint account, you need to agree to allow some space to each other. You need to be patient with each other in taking decisions. You know, you will have issues in the finances. Maybe you don't see accountability of 100% of his salary or her salary. It does not come home. Dear friends, as long as my personal principle, my personal advice to spouses, if you can see 70, 80% of accountability of your spouse finances, it is okay. You are be understanding. It is okay. It is okay if you can see 70%. If you can see 80%, it is okay, dear friends. Let's move by that. You may not say 100%, but you can easily see. Some of us, I know I have a couple, the way they do things, for I want to give it as an example. They are in some clubs, they're in some saving places, then they have to pay rent, so saving places. So one of the spouses is responsible on their money. They are the ones who have to pay rent, you know, the one who has to pay rent, pay this saving group, see, make subscription there, and they are pay utilities, pay here and they pay. Then the other one also comes in, food, what? I mean, even when all that happens, you are likely to see like 80%. You are likely to see like 80%. And when you see like 80%, dear friends, it is okay. It is okay if you can see 80%. You may not see a lot, but if you can see 80%, it is very okay. If you can see 70% of accountability, it's very okay. Maybe your spouse is telling you that, by the way, you know the other loan, this, I paid it and finished. You know the other, and you'll find you can account for 70. So finances, let us be understanding. Let us not fight over each other because there's an accountability of some 10% of their incomes that you are not seeing. No, let's allow each other space. Intimacy, love making. Let us be understanding in love making and intimacy. Maybe your wife has postponed you again and again, and you're like, but last time you postponed me, the other time you postponed me, what is it happening? The point is here. Maybe the other time they postponed you, you were even seeing them taking some supplements. Maybe you are seeing her weak, you are seeing her not well. Maybe you're already seeing her on some drugs, some medicine. Maybe you are seeing her taking some herbs. As Africans, you know, we still take our herbs very well. Leaves, you collect leaves and there, you cook them, you boil them, you take them, and they give you that immunity. So maybe you have already seen your wife when she's on such a therapies. So be understanding. And your wife, please, when you postpone, fulfill the program. If you are sure tomorrow you'll not make it, you say, can you give me 2 days? Can you give me 2 days? Now I'm not fine. Give me 2 days. Dear husbands, I hear some husbands also have challenges there. When you are not able to perform today and you are saying 2 days, please let it be 2 days. When you say tomorrow, let it be tomorrow. You know, when you are stressed and maybe you are threatened by a job demotion, maybe your business are going down, maybe your idea, your deals are not working out well, still, let's communicate. Let's communicate, dear friends. Those things will be there and they can affect our intimacy, but let us be understanding. Let us listen to each other. Let us know when you promise tomorrow, let it be tomorrow. When you are not able now, let us know the reason. I'm not able because I'm suffering with this and this and this. I'm working on this and this. Give me some time. I'm stressed today, but tomorrow. And I think we have overcome in this area in my marriage because we are open about this. When it is tomorrow, it is tomorrow. When I'm not is not able, we are not able now. So, dear friends, what about in parenting? Understanding in parenting. As a matter of fact, one of these days, our child who is in boarding school in high school was not well and was on medication. They diagnosed some challenge in her body, some health complication. They treated it. I believe she's well. So recently we are going to check on her at school for visitation day. And my wife said, we cannot take this to our child because she has just recovered from this condition. Let her have some time. Yet this is something I thought we cannot miss it on her list. And she also likes this. We could not miss it on her list. Actually, she called me when I was already on my way going to buy this thing to shop it. So, dear friends, I had to be understanding. I had to listen to her about this very step. And that is how it is in parenting. Your spouse will insist on some decisions, will insist on some actions for your children. for the children at home. And you're like, but, give it some time. Give it some time, dear friends. That is how we succeed in parenting. Be patient with each other. Hmm? Talk about it when you are calm. Talk about it when you are in happy moods. I encourage people not to solve issues when they are furious, when they are angry, when they are off. I encourage them to solve issues when they are free with each other, when they are open, when they are jolly. That's when you can bring a matter and it is actually solved very faster. Ministry, your spouse may be you are in different ministries. Be understanding when they are in different ministries. You married to a pastor who is always at church, who is always running to the community, who is never at home. Be understanding. This is the calling that God has given you. This is the calling that God has called us in, and we can make it, dear friends. Or ministry. My wife is in different ministry, I'm in different ministry. Maybe why I don't have her here, she has gone for some ministry also. We do different ministries, but all serving for the good of our families. We meet together and fast over them. We meet together and pray for them. We have an altar where we come together and pray over these different ministries. She has high interest in some ministries. I have interest in some ministries. So I want to challenge us, dear friends, be understanding about your ministries that we are doing. And maybe next I want to share about us. Yes, in this understanding each other, it is not true that you will agree on every point with each other. It is not true that you'll be matching with each other at every point. No, some of the things you may not agree, but give it some space. May not agree, but allow it some time. In my ministry, over time, I have in counseling rooms, I have had, I hear the husband that stops the wife from going to any fellowship. Actually, some of them have stopped them going to church. There are some wives who cannot go to church because the husband has said, I don't want that church. I'm like, for heaven's sake, why? People to reach there, don't go to that fellowship. You call someone for fellowship and say, my husband cannot allow. Hey, good Lord. Friends, let us check our hearts. Let us check ourselves. Let us check ourselves, dear friends. You may not be having a feeling for it, but please be understanding. Give each other some space. I plead with you. Give each other some space. Allow each other some time. They will get there. You will find a good thing after it. We know some people, even me when I got saved, I remember many years when I gave my life to Christ, my family where I was coming from, I was a man brought up by my grandmother. She did not like the Barocco things. She did not like the Barocco things. When I started praying very violently, praying very actively, she thought I have crossed to another religion. And she was saying, I have never wanted this to come to my family, and now here it is. And I had to go for missions, I had to go for fellowships, I had to move here and there, I had to be praying very seriously across the night. I had to wake up early in the morning and pray very violently. So she was not at peace. And this is what happens in marriage. Today, as I talk, she later got saved, my uncles got saved, a big part of our family later got saved. And today, they know what it means now. At first, she did not like it, but now she understands it is what has brought us where we are. It is what has worked. So even in your marriage, I want to challenge you, dear friends, that it may challenge you, it may be troubling you now. She may be taking a decision you don't like, he may be taking a decision you don't like. Allow each other some space. That is what it means to be understanding. May the good Lord bless you so much. May the Lord God guide you and open doors for you. You reconcile with each other. You come back at each other. You sit on a round table again and you recollect yourselves. You reason together with the Lord. You reason together with your spouse, and then the Lord will bless you. All this, I believe that you need to hold on Jesus. Him alone, He has the way. He is the way, the truth, and the life, as He says, John chapter, what He says, chapter 14. Yeah, He is the way, the truth, and the life. Chapter 14, verse 6. So may the Lord bless you. Have a nice time. Talk again. Open the communication lines. Be understanding in all ways that we have shared. Be blessed, friends.